Hello, my name is TJ Walker, Creative Director and co-founder of Cross Colors Clothing. Welcome to Cross Colors Archives, where we dive into the history, the creativity, and the impact behind the designs of the Cross Colors brand. So from the Cross Colors Archives today, we're going to focus on the Graffiti group, which was done in around 1991. Now, I call it a group because unlike in traditional ways of doing your collections per se, we did groups because this allowed us to merchandise hookups from everything from the colors, from the fabric, from the print. I guess you can say that we were like an adult Garanimals. So the Graffiti group was inspired by the graffiti art movement, both in Los Angeles and in New York. And my true introduction to graffiti art was through Hex. Hex was a graffiti artist who would do the backdrops for our trade shows, for our surf fetish shows. That really inspired us to do art or graffiti on clothing. So the main feature of the graffiti art or the graffiti group, of course, is the graffiti. But the graffiti was typically done by hand, by me. And then from there, it was handed off to the artist or a graphic artist to digitize. But sometimes we wouldn't even digitize it. We would also paint right onto the film, and then it was screen printed directly onto the garments. In the 90s, graffiti was not accepted the way that it is now. In fact,
whereas we would get hassled by the police, by the gangsters, and sometimes even get stuff thrown at us.
On the one hand, you had anti-graffiti crusades by cities and police, especially as graffiti was being tied to gangs and gang signs and gangster rap and the soundtrack to the movement. On the other hand, people were doing graffiti as real art. Hex invited me to some legendary graffiti battles between artists. In the 90s, graffiti artists were just starting to get following and receive commissions to do work on buildings and also inside structures. The unusual features of our graffiti group in terms of placement of graphics, we would have a graphic here is the tagging style of graffiti that's on this leg of the graffiti group pant. This graphic is considered semi-wild graffiti style on the leg of the pant. But then we would also have the bleed logo on the back as well, on the leg as well, and always our label on the back. And again, the groups were coordinated groups, so we would have a jacket as well for this. The same hit that we put on the leg is the one that we actually put on the back of the jacket as well. So you can see here on the t-shirt, we have it center front chest for the graphic that's on the leg. The graffiti group included coordinated hookups of overalls, pants, shorts, button-up shirts, jackets, and t-shirts in 3 groupings: the city group, the b-boy group, and the 3D group. The financial impact from the graffiti group was immediate because the Cross Colors graffiti groups, including the jeans, the t-shirts, the pants, sold out and kept selling. The cultural impact here is that by Cross Colors putting graffiti on clothing, therefore on bodies, it really went against the anti-graffiti sentiment. Therefore, it put the graffiti in a more positive light. Thank you for joining me, TJ Walker, and the Cross Colors Archives. Subscribe and keep creating the culture.